Well, Coach, another historical mark set for your team with the 20th straight win. Congratulations on that. Thursday night, you talked to your team and probably in practice as well about the importance of rebounding. And we're looking at the stat sheet saying, wow, was that really the determining factor here tonight?
It was, and Utah did a great job switching defenses and trying to keep us off guard. And we could have gone up against maybe 4 or 5 different types of defenses. And, when you do that, sometimes what you do is you can open up the floodgates for offensive rebounding. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get them. We had to earn them. But we didn't shoot the ball well on a night where, because of how they chose to play us, we really needed to. And we were able to offset that by really doing as good of a job as we have all year offensive rebounding. And you look at Aaron Gordon's 7 offensive rebounds. Rondé had 4 in 21 minutes. And Brandon, although didn't play very well in the first half, he did a really good job in the second half and kind of put that first 20 minutes behind him and ended up with 11 points and 7 rebounds. And, once again, Nick Johnson was the best player on the court, at least on our end, and he did everything, defense, offense, making big plays, and he's really a terrific player right now.
Matt and I were talking just before you got out here that you have a very balanced team this year, but Nick's been your leading scorer, and sometimes when you get into tight ball games like this, you look for that leader to step forward, and did Nick kind of take over that role in the second half?
He did, and we were starstruck at the beginning. The way that they chose to play had us out of sorts, off balance, but we defended really well. And then early in the second half, we lost our defense a little bit as we started to score. And eventually, what broke the game open was really, really good defense and offense, which was centered around, like you had mentioned, Brian, offensive rebounding.
You talked about Aaron Gordon and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, their tremendous job on the offensive glass. With Aaron, you kind of see it physically. You almost expect him to be around there. But what makes Rondé so effective? Because it just seems like he has that ability to sneak inside, and all of a sudden he's there.
He has great talent. He's really long, but he's also really determined and highly competitive. And in a game like tonight, it's perfect for Rondé because the more physical, and it was a very physical game, the more at ease he is. And you could really see that.
Maybe comment a little bit on the defense that your team played, in particular against DeLon Wright and Jordan Loveridge. They were combined 9 for 26 from the floor between them.
Well, 2 terrific players. That's our first time going against DeLon Wright, and he's really good. He's also really good on defense. I think part of what makes them a good defensive team is his length, his ability to guard a variety of players and get steals. So he's a special player. I would say he's an all-conference player. And Jordan Loveridge is a very difficult matchup, and Larry and his staff do an excellent job getting shots for their good players. So we had a heck of a game on our hands tonight. It was a game that we could have easily lost if we weren't as determined as we were offensive rebounding.
You mentioned this before that your team has set some historical marks. There's no trophies for those necessarily, but to get a 20th win tonight, just in terms of excellence, that always seems to be one of the marks that you look for every season. So what does that mean for this program right now to be at 20-0?
Well, it means a lot. Anytime that we have an opportunity or accomplish a goal, I shouldn't say a goal, set a record at Arizona, it's so meaningful because the history here is so special. So when you're up against teams and records, players, anyone you break is significant, and that's how we feel. Being able to win 20 in a row, that now being the most that an Arizona team has ever won in a row, makes us, I think, feel really good. We're honored to be that team that did it. And again, when you compete against the history of our program, any record that we break is significant, and we know that.
All right, well, your team has relished taking their #1 ranking on the road. They'll get a couple more shots this next week. Should be fun.
I don't know if it'll be fun, but
okay.
It'll be hard, no question. Right. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Head Coach Sean Miller here courtside at McHale Center as the Wildcats beat the Utah Utes by a final score of 65-56.